Welcome to a commentary channel. Content varies. I can talk about anything and everything. So you'll find on my channel a wide variety of subjects. Hopefully one might interest you. And at the moment I'm uploading stuff about Mandela effects. It's my second video about Mandela effects, but I just wanted to take a step backwards because some people blame CERN, C-E-R-N, for the Mandela effects, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the occult. Now, we all have heard in the United States of the Bohemian Grove, where the select elite go around and worship. I'm going to mispronounce this, sorry, Baphomet, B-A-P-H-O-M-E-T, I think it is, the owl. But did you know this, that the tunnel to CERN is called the Gotthard Tunnel, spelt G-O-T-T-H-A-R-D tunnel. Now, it's under a mountain, and before they drilled that tunnel, there's a legend that the people who lived in that area sacrificed and tricked the devil. But anyway, let's talk about more recent times. In 2016, the leaders like the German, is she president? Is she or prime minister? Merkel, Miss Merkel was invited. All the elite leaders and things were invited to watch a production of them doing this tunnel. And while we're talking about it, the tunnel, the actual machine had 666 blades, 666 blades, and they did this mass production, which the elite, the leaders all watched. So this is 2016, and they're all watching, and there were actually 666 actors in the production, and they were playing parts of demons, and the leaders all watched and clapped, and the production kind of ended where it looked like the birth of Antichrist. There was a symbol or an actor that looked like Pan Goat, and they also had a big clock, and the clock was like the time was going the opposite direction, so time was going backwards. And as I said, all the leaders were there, and they clapped all this so-called devil worship. Now, I remembered, I'm going to leave that for what it is for you to think about, and then CERN started after that. But anyway, I'm going to leave that for the moment, and I'm going to go back to the 1960s. For the life of me, don't know the title of the book, and I don't know the author. I read it quite some time ago, and it's supposed to be based in truth. I'm not exactly sure of the year. Round about 1967, a pope died. And apparently, after this pope died, certain elite met in Europe and performed dark magic and sacrifices to elect a pope, for want of a better word, of darkness. The book hinted that this pope that had died had been murdered, and also said that this pope that died was the last of the godly popes, and that from then on, the popes that were elected because of the elite. Now, those of you, and I'm going to stop and leave it that there as well. I'm just throwing little bits of info at you. It's up to you to add these things together. We all know barcodes have got, apparently, if you look at the stripes of the barcodes, they are 666. Even Monster energy drinks, everyone thinks that they're just 3 scratches, right, of a monster. They're actually not. It's actually Hebrew for 666. Now, I am not a Christian, but I do believe in darkness, and this video is going to be a little bit all over the place. I'm going to give you little bits of information all over the place, okay? So I'm sorry about that. It's not going to really flow. It's just throwing at you bits of information that I have learnt. Apparently, Kate when she gave birth to whatever the baby's name is, her son, I forget. I don't keep up with royalty. Her dress resembled the same dress as Rosemary's baby. She was also seen in another photograph wearing the dress from Interview with a Vampire, I think. And apparently, King Charles has just come out with that he's related to Vlad the Impaler, the vampire, where all our vampire lore comes from. Now, I'm leaving these facts with you for you to do your own little bit of research or add up little bits of information I'm telling you. Now, for those of you who know me, you will know I'm an author. You will know that I'm a psychic medium. You will also know that I've had experiences with aliens and with other entities. And you will also know that I'm a conspiracy theorist. And you will also know I believe wholeheartedly David Icke. I-C-K-E. Look him up. Some of you I can hear some of you laughing and saying, David Icke has written about when the Queen was alive, that, was drinking the blood of babies. Well, he's just been validated. David Icke's been validated because King Charles has just come out and said he's related to Vlad the Impaler. All right, I've thrown a lot of facts at you. And I also did a video that a little while ago, and I made some predictions for 2025, including things to do with the economy crashing, to do with earthquakes, to do with a war in the Middle East, and to do with I've said the earthquake. And anyway, I haven't shared with you that I have Christian friends, and for them, when Trump got elected, they saw that as good. I personally am not a Trump supporter, but each to their own. Everyone has a right to believe and support who they want. I'm not judging, okay? But some of these people who I know are Christians, and they really strongly believe we're in the last times. And I just threw a whole heap of things at you, which are facts. You can look these up. And if you buy, or if you've read my book, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life, it goes into everything I'm talking about. The world, there are some people call it the Illuminati, some people believe it's the Freemasons, other people say it's the elite, other people go reptilians, but there are certain forces that want to keep Earth vibrating at a lower frequency. When Earth vibrates at a lower frequency, that's dense, we are dark. When we are dark, there's more wars, there's hatred, there's anger. And because the Earth is off balance, if we start vibrating at too lower a frequency, the Earth has to be in balance. So a disaster will happen. Now, I believe we are in dark times. I believe that to be successful, I really do believe this, to be successful, to be a leader, you are forced to do dark things. And I really believe this year, as well as all my other predictions, is going to be the big year. I think a lot of people are hoping for disclosure, and we are going to get disclosure, but we're going to learn that the aliens, what we think are aliens, are not. These aliens are demonic. And I'm not talking about little fallen angels with little horns on their head. No, I'm talking about entities that want to keep us vibrating at a lower frequency. When we love, when we are kind to each other, when we tolerate each other, when we do good things, Earth vibrates at a higher frequency. This isn't new. This isn't new. But why I have thrown all these facts at you, and it's a bit disjointed. This video is, here's take a bit of information here, here's another bit of information, and this and that, rah, rah, rah. Another thing, do you know that the Chinese, instead of plastic cards and everything, so when you go and you make a purchase and you get out your bank card, although we can now use our phones to pay for a purchase, the Chinese, they can do it with their palms. Now, I tell you this, even though I am not a Christian, if suddenly our government or whoever, our leaders, turned around and said there's going to be no more money, because if we all rushed the banks to get our savings, the banks would collapse. There's no money there. Money's made up. Money is a totally made up thing. But if we're told that we have to get a little barcode, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. That's what they want you to do. I'm not. Please don't. So I think 2025 is going to be a big year. It sounds ominous, 2025. It's going to be, it's got to get worse before it gets better. But in the end, good always triumphs. Light always triumphs. Light burns the darkness. Choose a side. So I've thrown a lot of facts at you. Let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think about the tunnel that ended up with CERN? And as I spoke in a previous video, at CERN they have the goddess Shiva, and Shiva is Hindu goddess for destruction, destroyer of worlds. It's also built on an old temple to Apollo. This is paganism. Again, I'm just throwing facts at you. I think 2025, we're going to have to be united, because I think this is the year we make it or break it. It's a big year. It's a year either we come together or the darkness wins. And I personally want to be a better person. I personally want to vibrate at a higher frequency. But we all have free will, although some people doubt that. Some people believe, we're in a simulation and we're just NPCs, players, avatars, whatever. I believe thought creates, and I believe that we have infinite possibilities. Every time we have a thought, we could branch off onto another thing. But also, do you, like I said in my last video talking about the Mandela effect, and when I started this video, I talked about 2016. I talked about how the elite all went and watched this production, which was very dark, very satanic, and had a clock at which all the elite applauded, and the clock went backwards, like backwards in time. Do you think that CERN actually, that's the point of CERN, was to, or the elite wanted us to change history, and that's why we have Mandela effects? I've thrown a lot of stuff at you, so I'm sorry it's disjointed. I would really like, I'd like to have an exchange here. I'm throwing facts at you. Come back at me in the comments with what you believe and everything. But yeah, I'm a David Icke believer, and wow, yeah. So Kate wore the same or similar dress as Rosemary's Baby in 2016. The elite, the German, it is Prime Minister, isn't it? Yeah. Merkel was there, and she attended with other leaders, and they all clapped when it climaxed with like this birth of the Antichrist. Do you believe perhaps the Antichrist was born 2016? What do you reckon? Do you reckon the elite are messing with our minds? What do you reckon? And there's a very famous author, L.E. Modesitt. I probably pronounced that wrong. It's spelled something like this: Modesitt, and he's a fiction writer, and he often writes fantasy books. There's a lot of series where it's white and black, and usually the main character ends up becoming grey, having a little bit of both. White in this series is chaos, and black is order. So if you had a choice, and let's talk about Star Wars too, would you choose, like in Star Wars, I chose, to be on like Darth Vader's side, but I'm talking seriously here. In your real life, if you were given a choice to bow down to and sacrifice, and don't think that there isn't sacrifices and witches and things being if you think that that's not happening, and that there's a lot of missing children and pets that are being sacrificed, if you don't think that's happening, I feel very sorry for you, because it is. So this is real life. Are you choosing dark? Are you going to choose with me to vibrate at a higher frequency and be a better version of yourself? Of course, we were made, whether we were avatars or players, we were made flawed. So we have good or bad, but I'm going to choose good. How about you? Thank you for watching. Love, light, and blessings. Sorry it was all over the place. It's just, I don't even know what I'm going to call this. A mess? Thanks, guys.